Okay, so I posted a video on what I believe should be Barcelona's main 11 after we come back from international break. And one of the biggest talking points that people had about my starting 11 was pairing up Garcia and Cubarsi at the back, because I personally do believe that that is our best center back pairing. And I want to explain my position. Hansi Flick's Barcelona, to me, has really redefined on what it means to be a defender, because Garcia's tactical intelligence, his IQ, and his adaptability has made him more vital to the system than Araujo. And I think that in today's game overall, brains does beat the brawn. And Garcia's rise under Hansi Flick isn't just like, to me, a comeback. It's a proof that in modern football, tactical IQ and adaptability now does matter more than the pure athletic power. Obviously, if you have the athletic power and you have the tactical IQ, that is the best case scenario. But what wins right now, and especially in this system for Barcelona, it is the tactical IQ. And that is what I believe is what's making Araujo really become a flaw into this defensive line. It's because his IQ is not that high. And especially when you compare to Garcia or Cubarsi. Garcia really has experienced a remarkable transformation under Hansi Flick's guidance. 3 years ago, we would all be saying that Garcia needs to leave and go somewhere else, and Araujo should stay here and be the cornerstone of the defensive line. But now with Hansi Flick, Garcia is the man. There was a reason why Flick said, you are not gonna leave to a different club, which was, I believe, back in January 2025 or January 2024. I forgot which year was it, but there was a winter transfer window where Flick said, you're not gonna leave, you're gonna stay. I don't care if Como is interested in you, I need you. Because Flick sees something very special in Garcia. Garcia, between 2022 and before Flick came, those 2 seasons only showed us inconsistency, limited minutes. He played 24 matches. He was a rotational defender, and our main defensive line that we counted on under Xavi Hernandez was Christensen, Araujo, Balde, and Koundé, which ultimately ended up being the best defensive line in the world, only allowing 20 goals back in the 2022-2023 season. We were not even talking about Garcia at that time. It was all about Araujo, and that was because we were playing in a much different system, and it led towards him being loaned out to Girona. And the average stats that Garcia was accumulating with Barcelona before Flick came was 1.47 tackles per 90, 1.04 interceptions per 90 minutes, and only averaged 55 minutes per match. So these are decent numbers, but it could have been amplified. Then came Flick, and under Flick, Garcia became more of a consistent starter, playing 37 matches across 2 seasons, and his defensive and offensive output improved dramatically. Tackles per 90 jumped by 50%, his interceptions per 90 jumped by 8%, his goal contribution tripled, and this is the type of evolution that we have not seen from Araujo. If anything, it was backwards, because before Hansi Flick, he was the most dependable center back. Under Xavi Hernandez, he was undisputed, and even though he was out injured back in the 2022-2023 season, he still became the main defensive anchor across 47 total matches and averaged 80 minutes per appearance. He averaged 1.26 tackles per 90, 0.49 interceptions per 90. But then came Flick, and Araujo was sidelined for a very long time, for like 130 days. When he came back, he had no rhythm. He lost his starting spot to Garcia and Cubarsi and Inigo Martinez, and we never really got the best out of Araujo in the first season with Flick. So his defensive quality was there, but in terms of like really understanding on how to get somebody offside or going on those 1v1 defensive duels, Araujo also did a lot of mistakes. When we look at Hansi Flick's defensive philosophy, Flick introduced a high line defensive structure that does need intense pressing, positional discipline, and rapid transitions. So his system demands for defenders who can execute accurate long-range passing, maintain composure under high pressure, time the offside trap to perfection, and offer tactical flexibility across multiple zones. So Flick's system, and I'm telling you guys, does reward the intelligence, the composure, and the technical skill more than just pure physicality. This is why Garcia adapted so well. He showed adaptability. First of all, we have seen him play on the center back position, right back position, left back position, and even as a defensive midfielder. He always maintained, and he continues to maintain, a 89 to 93% completion rate when it comes to passes, while transitioning in different roles. His aerial duels, 1 per 90 minutes, is 1.81. It's one of the highest, and he has upgraded in terms of aerial duels. You want to talk about who's the next Mascherano or Puyol? It's Garcia. Garcia is really not that tall, but in the air, he's really strong. When he needs to score a header, he wins it. When he does need to defend a header, he wins it. And with him, Barcelona only concede 1 goal every 137 minutes. And that's fascinating to hear. We cannot hear that with Araujo. His long passing under pressure is a major flaw, and we need that with our center backs. Inigo Martinez was phenomenal on that. Cubarsi continues to be phenomenal. Garcia can do that. Christensen can do that. But the long passes from Araujo is really not the best, and it often leads to possession being lost in build-up. And sometimes when he misplaces passes, those players from the opposition like to run through Araujo and try to look for a mistake from Araujo, because Araujo, I don't know if you guys know this, but for the first time in his career, he is averaging 2 fouls per 90. That's not a good look. He is the 4th center center back in Europe with the most fouls, which is once again 2 per 90 minutes. Looking at the context on who Araujo was before Flick came and playing under Xavi, when it came to fouls, he did not even commit 1 foul per game. It was less than that. It was like 0.30 fouls per 90 minutes. Last year under Flick, he averaged 1.10 fouls per 90, but this season he's at 2, and there's a big reason for that. There's a big reason why Araujo is fouling much more. It's because he knows that he makes a lot of mistakes. He knows that when he sees a player run behind our defensive line through a long pass and we have to track back, he usually ends up fouling that player. Just look at how Barcelona conceded the first goal against Sevilla and you'll know what I mean. So he does suffer a lot. This system is really not for him. The reason why he was much better under Xavi was because we were much more conservative and our line was not that high. We sat much deeper, and that is where Araujo's best game is at. So the difference between Garcia and Araujo is very much real right now. This season, once again, with Era Garcia, Barcelona only concede every 137 minutes. With Araujo, we concede every 88 minutes. So with Era Garcia starting next to Cubarsi, we have more advantages. He can cover multiple positions effectively during play. He is elite under pressure with a pass accuracy of 89% or more. He has a deep understanding of Flick's positional structure. He is reliable when it comes to the output. He's still very young. At the age of 24 years old, we can definitely make him become one of the best center backs in the world. Of course, Araujo does bring us value as well. I don't want to say that Araujo is so trash that he should never be starting over Era Garcia, but Araujo does have some strengths, like being exceptional in aerial duels. He's a natural leader, an emotional anchor in the squad, but there are also weaknesses, and those weaknesses are exactly what we have been talking about, unfortunately. So here is going to be my final verdict, and I do want to leave it up to you guys. To me, Era Garcia deserves to be a starter, and I believe that Era Garcia has been more important under Flick than Araujo. We are better with Eric than Araujo today. I don't necessarily believe that Araujo should be sold, but if that opportunity does arrive where Araujo is like, I want to go somewhere else, I would also understand that because he has been suffering a lot at Barcelona. So for now, I think that renewing Era Garcia at the age of 24 years old is a must. That must happen. What I believe Araujo is going through right now is a mental issue, because to me, Araujo has football inside him. He can be much better. If his mentality heightens, we can see a better Araujo. Just look at Vitor Roque, a player who does not really have good football in him. He's not the most technical, and his mentality was low at Barcelona. It's the reason why he was sold. Those players we can forget, but when it comes to players like, let's just say for example, Ansu Fati, he has football, unlike Vitor Roque, great football, great technicality, but his mentality was low while at FC Barcelona. There is a reason why he was loaned out to Monaco. It's because Barcelona knew that if his mentality does heighten, Ansu Fati will go back to his best, like what we're seeing today. And I believe the same thing can be said with Araujo. He has football. I do believe that he can get better in terms of ball distribution, long balls, being great under pressure, but I just think that he needs to believe himself that he can do that. And if his mentality goes higher, he can become the best center back that he could be. So do you guys agree with me here? Do you guys believe that Era Garcia should be over Araujo officially for the next couple of months? That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.